Radio. Homegrown Radio. Real 92.3.
All right, we back at it, Homegrown Radio. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head,
West
man.
Coast.
It is Reason season. We got the homie. They let another Delamo nigga in the game, man.
They done open the door.
Reasons in the building. That's a good thing. I'm happy about that, man. It's already one thing for a nigga from the city to get in, but when you got two motherfuckers that get in, that's amazing, man. So shouts out to Reason in the building, man, and congratulations on everything that's going on. It's just amazing to see the success, the progress, and you get that shine right now, man. So
thank you, bro.
First and foremost, how are you feeling right now? There's a lot of things going on. How are you soaking everything in? Obviously since
it's been like surreal, to be honest with you, but also overwhelmed. Just like my career has never moved this fast before. You feel me? When you going through the whole underground grind, and you paying for everything out of pocket, you paying for shows, videos, studio sessions. Everything comes separated because you need money. Once you dump that bread out, you need money to re-up. You know what I mean? So when it's like now, it's like everything just go quick. Videos, shows, studio sessions, interviews, whatever you're doing, and it's like you really just trying to play the game to just run as fast as you can to try to keep up. You know what I mean? And you never fully keep up, but it's just you just trying not to at least trip and fall. You feel me? Is
it more overwhelming than it is exciting, or how are you processing everything?
It's definitely more exciting. Like it's just like it's like you dream about something and you work so hard for it, and you just keep dreaming. I mean, I'm sure y'all know building homegrown from the bottom up.
Absolutely,
you picture it being this way.
Right.
But then when it is that way, it's like it's super surreal to a point to where you literally wake up and can't even believe. Like I remember when I first got signed last year, it was like maybe a month and a half after that, I had a day where I woke up literally like panicking, and started ironing my clothes and everything. I swear to God. And then like maybe 20 minutes in, it was like, oh, I don't gotta go to work. I legitimately was like ironing my clothes and
go to work
just because I was so used to, I was programmed, and I forgot that it felt like a dream. It was feeling surreal. It felt like a dream. So I literally woke up on autopilot, just ironing my clothes, trying to get everything together.
Hey, you know what I like?
I ain't gotta go.
You know what I liked about you though from the jump is you never hide regular life.
Oh nah.
Like most people do that shit. Like they try to tuck I have a job. Like most people, like rappers, when you first get a whiff of them, they try to act like they've been rapping from the womb.
100%.
Like I came out my mom's uterus on this bar.
spitting rhymes.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never worked for no other man. You know, like on some Dame Dash shit.
I was gonna say Dame Dash.
That's like the almost like the wall that rappers put up to try to make themselves feel like almost like they destined for this. But I tell every artist that asks me for advice, I always tell them my first thing I tell them is get a job, because who gonna pay for all that? This is a pay to play business, bro.
True.
This is pay to play. Everything. You can make the best music, but if it's not mixed the right way, it could get overlooked from somebody that actually got mixing or whatever, or the best song, but it's got a trash video and the video look, and you only get one. In today's there is so much music, you only get one shot. So
make a first impression.
Man, it's like if somebody come up to you and hand you their CD and it's trash, or even if the presentation ain't right, that might be the difference between you putting the ear to it and not.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And once you see that name and you remember what it is, from now on, even if you hear that name a year later, in your mind, that's who that person is. You feel me? So
I'm so glad you said that, man. And maybe people will listen to it when it comes from another artist, but we say that all the time. The mixing, the presentation, everything is so important. Like I just said, you got one shot to make a first impression. Now moving forward, that's going to be your reputation.
Exactly.
As far as how that goes, as far as somebody mentioning your name.
Exactly.
So.
I tell them it's just like dating. It's like if you pull up on a girl and you not present it the right way, what makes you think that she gonna give you another opportunity? Not only give you another opportunity for another date, but what make you think she ain't gonna go back to her homegirls and be like, well, girl, listen to what, you feel me?
Yeah, your name gonna be ran through the mud.
That's what it is. So it's like, if you're not ready for the date, then just don't go on the date. Don't hand out your CD. It's been so many times, bro, where I met people and the homies was like, why you didn't give him a CD? I'm like, nah, because it's not for him. It's not. That's not the. This ain't it. You feel me? And so I just skipped it. I introduced myself, tell him I'm a big fan. I know I'm aware of him, and hopefully, God willing, I catch him on another time. You feel me? But I'm not about to pass you nothing if I don't feel like it's the right time for that. You know what I mean? That's just what it is.
Yeah, I ran into an artist today. I was out at Complex Con, and a dude hand me his CD, right? And I was like, bro, and everybody who know me, they be around, they know I don't take CDs from people, because I'm like, bro, you pay for that. You got a digipack. I come from that world, so I know it costs to press that shit up. So I was like, bro, I ain't gonna take your CD, but I'll give you my email it to me. So it's always that weird dynamic when you They think it's floss.
They think it's floss.
And I'm like, nah, take my this is my real email. This come to the iPhone. I got you. So what's interesting to me though is that approach now I'm noticing is different, because if somebody come up to you and like you just came off tour or you still on tour and they like, yo, take my CD, check me out, you judging them off the presentation. But now I'm looking at the email and the grammar be fucked up.
So it's always something.
And I'm like, I'm like, oh, you don't know the difference between there and there.
Come on, dog.
Seen you over there, but
That's
it's
funny, it's THEIR. That's funny.
Fuck, you know,
That's all bad.
So I'm like, is there any way to get past the judgment? Like,
bro, honestly,
hell no.
It come with it, bro. And how I look at it is like, if you don't take your career seriously enough to at least have the presentation up to par, you get what I'm saying? Then it's like, hey, you feel me? It's not. This is music business, and it's like when you make it, it's like hitting the lottery. Like that don't happen often. So it's like you can't just let everybody in. It's like everything got to click, and on top of everything clicking and you being good, you also got to be lucky. You know what I mean? Like you got to be like, luck is when preparation meet opportunity. You got to be prepared, have everything right, and then the right opportunity got to come for it to go that way. You feel me? Like I was working hard on the underground scene, but I still had to get lucky. Like it wasn't like, you know, I can blame it all on everything that I did. It's like I still had to get lucky. I had to have the right pieces in place. That way when the opportunity did come, we was prepared for it. You know what I mean?
How did that come about? Because I mean, I don't remember who, somebody put me up on your shit.
I know who put me on. Zaire Porter put me up on you years back, man.
You know, that's my guy from high school.
Yeah,
that's like my guy.
That's crazy.
Guy.
He put me on.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I want to say it was was it an art installation that he did years? I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. I can't remember how long ago it was, but I remember
it from like the jump. Then
he always been reminded, yo, you gotta check him out, because he knew I was from Carson. He's like, yo, you gotta check this kid out, check this kid out. So he would always send me songs here and there. I'm like, okay, cool. And again, talking about the presentation and everything, I'm like, yo, it's solid. So when I start hearing the name ring off a little bit more, I'm like, oh, this the dude you was. He's like, yeah, you sleeping.
That's
I'm like, I'll call myself a day 2. I can't say a day 1 fan, because you know I had somebody else put me on
but I do know me and you had some conversations pretty early on. And one thing I rock with Z about is that Z don't never tell me when he put people on my music. He just do it. You know what I mean? And that's why me and him do have like
solid.
We argue nonstop. I never have a conversation with
He called me an argument with me about stupid shit.
Exactly. Like that's just Z. But
especially with music, just like, come on, bro.
Music and sports, you can argue about every little thing. But to answer your question though, it really I gotta stop saying had my homeboy Tyrone, who I grew up with. His uncle, his name is Keem. Y'all might know Keem, tall, light-skinned dude, but he did road management for Schoolboy Q. And so he put Keem on my music, kind of like around the same time Zaire did. And Keem was like, yo, dude can really, really rap, but like his music not there yet. You feel me? And I thank God for Keem for that, because he didn't walk me in or send it to nobody from the label. Right. He wasn't like super extra on it. So Tyrone kept beating on his door, and I just kept working. And then you fast forward like 3 years for the project that just came out. There you have it, because y'all know it's a re-release. Right. And Keem came to the release party, and it was packed. It was like 500 people there. Like, so Keem sent like a video to Top, and Top was just like, you know, like that's impressive, but he still wasn't putting the ear to it. And then you fast forward a little bit more. Me and my homeboy LT and my brother, we kind of built like a team, and we was just putting out content every single week, just consistently. And so when we threw out There You Have It show, Keem, the first day we put tickets on sale for $5 just for the first day. Then they go up to $15 after that. Keem bought 20 tickets. He bought 20 tickets off the jump, and was just inviting people from the label out. Inviting them from the label out. And one of them that he invited out happened to be his best friend Musa. Who's Tops on the Sun. And so when Moose saw me on stage, what made Moose a fan is just seeing me on stage. It wasn't even the music. It was seeing me on stage. And then Musa reached out via DM and said that he wanted to pull up and hear some music that wasn't on There You Have It. He was like, I want you to schedule a studio session. Let me hear some. But at the time, I was going through a bunch of label meetings. To be honest with you, I flossed Moose when he first, because I didn't know who he was. I'm tired of having these meetings with these niggas. Keep telling me to pull up and waste money. You feel me? Like, so I told him, nigga,
I get to that TDE shit in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I got some other shit going on right now.
In the most respectful way, I was like, yo, I'm not going to pay for another studio session, bro, but if you want, you could pull up to one that I already got. This and that. So Moose, now that I know Moose is funny, his response, he was just like, LOL, I like because Moose is the type of person, he not gonna never flaunt who he is.
Right, at all.
You feel me? So he was like LOL, I, and then he put, let me know when your next session is. So I let him know. It was like a few days after that, and it was like a 5-hour session. Moose was late. He was hitting me. The session was wrapping up at 12. He hit me up at like 11:40.
It's that payback right
you
there.
Still there,
right?
So I was like, bro, I'm out. So once again, now this is really making me feel like, bro, like
this ain't no real shit.
God just being on my side.
Nah.
You feel me, man? Moose hit me back, and he was like, yo, well, pull up on me. I'm in Carson. So now I'm confused. I'm like, bro, you know I'm from Carson.
Why you tell me to pull up in the first place?
Like, I'm in
you know where I'm at.
Bro, I'm like, you know where I'm from, bro. Like, why you didn't tell me to pull up? So I was just like, all right, bet. So I'm already like a little irritated when I'm like, I'll pull up.
I'll pull up, I guess.
Pull up, like, whatever.
Let me ask you this. Now, prior to this, because I mean, for the folks that don't know where the studio is, did you know where the studio was at?
I knew what the studio looked like, but I didn't know that
it was right there.
I didn't know where it was. I knew that it was somewhere in Stevenson, but I didn't really know. You know what I'm saying? So, but I knew it was in Carson. You feel me? But I'm still.
Is this the same studio?
Yeah, it's the same.
This is when it hit me, right? So I done met a bunch of people that say that they in TDE. So I'm thinking Moose is just another person
that say he in TDE.
You know what I'm saying? He don't got no pictures of top on his. He don't got nothing.
He ain't flossing, right?
Can't get top on the phone.
So I'm like, bro, like you don't really know top. You feel me? But I'm just like, I'm exploring all options at this point, but I'm not rushing to it.
Okay.
So once I pull up with P and LT. And when I walk into the studio, I'm like, oh shit. Like I see the couch.
You see the rules exactly.
You feel me? I'm like, yo, I almost blew it, bro. Like I almost
fucked up.
Yeah, like I fucked up. Almost messed this up.
So okay, let's pause right there. When you realized you might have fucked this up,
Facts.
what's the first thing that went through your mind?
The first thing that went through my mind is because Moose didn't walk in yet. He had somebody unlock the door and we waiting for him to walk in. First thing that went through my mind is, what can I tell him that can erase that can erase
all this shit,
something that can erase how low key foul I've been. You feel me? For like the last week and a half.
Home from the studio.
Like, so I'm telling Moose, I'm like, bro, I just been going through a lot, bro. Like, don't mind.
My dog just died. There's a lot of shit going on,
like,
man.
Bro,
frustrated.
A lot of personal stuff going on, bro. Like, don't mind me, bro. Like, you know, like I just
need an alternator.
Hey, that's what you hit him with. You know.
Bro, I just start. So I'm just like, man. So luckily for Moose, like he just a cool dude. So like, you know, I told him the truth. I was like, bro, I've been getting to run around by a lot of labels, bro, and that's why I was so standoffish. But like, I didn't know. So excuse my ignorance. You feel me? He was just like, nah, it's all love and whatnot. And then Keem walk in, which I didn't even know Keem was gonna be there at the time. Because mind you, at this point, Moose didn't even tell me that he figured out about me from Keem. So I still didn't put the connection together.
Right.
Keem bought 20 tickets and he brought some people. But Moose didn't hit me up like, yo, I came to the show.
Right.
Nothing like that. He was just like, I like what you're doing. I want to sit and link and listen to some music. You feel me?
Which is probably the best way, too, because had he said something, it would have probably threw the whole thing off.
No. He would have gotten in line.
Nah.
He would have been more respectful. But I will say this, though. If he would have told me that from jump, like, I have a bad habit of overthinking everything.
Exactly.
So I would have went into it like super like analytical and like trying to figure like, oh, okay, I'm gonna play this song. I'm gonna say this. That's my point. I am. You feel me? Like so, I would have went into it like that. So I'm actually glad he didn't say that. Exactly. And Keem, and then I figured out on the back end that Keem was kind of the one also telling Moose because Moose was hitting him like
this nigga tripping. He's like, hold on.
And Keem was just like, bro, like trust me, good people. You feel me? So luckily my relationship with Keem was like that. And then I played records. And the original plan was for me, Keem, and Musa to put together a project that built up my buzz. Shout out to a dude named Dave Gross. I don't know if y'all ever met Dave Gross, but he worked with Nipsey a lot. We were supposed to work with Dave and put together some records, repackage There You Have It, take like 6 songs off, keep 4, make another 4, make it like an 8-song thing, put a couple bigger artists on it, you know what I mean, and then build up the buzz and then go to top. That was the original plan. But Moose kept listening to the project a lot, and he just really, really rocked with it, and so he just sent it to top without telling me or whatever. Like, without telling me. And so when I figured out about that, I'm hot, because I'm like,
no. That's why you're supposed to repackage.
Like, that's not it, bro. Like, you blowing it right now.
You sound like a fucking headache.
Bro,
you ain't even signed yet. You sound like a fucking headache.
For real, bro. I thank God for like people patience with me, bro. Because it's like, this is the thing. I'm not a person that's super like, I'm not a diva. I don't need a bunch of stuff, but I am very controlling as far as how things, because I was an independent artist and I did everything myself. Like, I didn't have
very hands-on.
I didn't have no situation with nobody. Every video I did, I paid for it out of my own pocket or like my people's pocket or something. So I'm very controlling on how. So I'm not used to that. Was like the biggest learning curve with me, Moose, and Keem. Because they're telling me like, Reason, be the artist.
Yeah, learn to let go.
Yeah, and
be the talent.
I'm on everybody. But like, oh, where the video treatment? I want to see it. Like, it's like, bro, like
we got this.
Exactly. You feel me? So
we've done this before.
And I'm like, and I'm trying to tell. I've been doing this for 4 years. Y'all know nothing. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. I've been doing this for 4 straight years. You feel me? They like, bro, we've been here for 15.
Like,
bro.
trust, we got this.
Exactly. So I'm just trying to grow in that way. And so he sent it to Top, and Top like, yo, I want to meet this kid. And so we pull up on Top. And we wait in the living room for like an hour and a half, and then SZA walks out, and then that was another moment where I'm like, "Damn, this is really real." You feel me? Like, and so SZA walk out, she greets us, and then we walk in with Top, and he just like, "Yeah, so Moose told me, you got some music, so I just want you to press play, just keep playing them until I tell you to stop." You feel me? And so we playing music for like an hour and a half, but Top not bobbing his head once. Like Top is literally on the phone texting,
unbothered.
He talking during the music.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
Like you supposed to listen to this part right here.
I'm like, this part coming up. He's gonna fuck with this part right here. He gonna rock with this. And he's showing Moose a picture on Instagram and shit where I'm like, feel me? And Moose not making it no better. Moose laughing, talking about, hey, Pop, that's crazy.
Hey, no one time he playing dominoes.
Bro, I swear to God, he was playing dominoes.
I ain't gonna lie.
Bro, he like the king at dominoes, bro. So Top doing everything during it. So I'm like, man, he is not like, he not rocking with it. But Moose texted me, he like, bro, the way Top is, he would have walked out if he wasn't, like, I done brought people here.
Right.
They done made it 7 minutes. Like, we doing good. And so it wasn't until I played Fuck With Me that Top put his phone down and was like, oh, this one hard. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is the only record he likes. Like, I gotta go back and make a bunch of Fuck With Me.
If it's hard, that means
right.
Exactly. So, but I didn't know that at the time. You feel me? So we exchanged information. He had me put there. You have it on his phone. And he was like, I don't want the new music yet. I'm gonna just live with this. I'll be in contact. And he dip out. And so Musa was like, that's a good introduction. We'll probably still do the same thing we was gonna do. Double back in like 6 months, and then see what Top feeling right there.
Right.
And then maybe 3 days later, Moose called me and he was like, bro, my pops called me at 4 a.m. and was like, bro, this nigga is crazy, bro. Like, you feel me? And then he invited me to a studio session with J-Rock like 2 days later, and me and Rock made a record. And then after that, like, it went fast after that. It was like maybe 3 weeks after that, and I had paperwork in my hand.
Crazy.
And so it was great. It was literally like life changing, bro. And it was like just a week and a half before I met Moose, I was trying to quit music because I had like a bunch of personal stuff going, and just when everything go bad, once it crash on you. I had one of those, and I was like, bro, like I'm pouring too much into music. I'm done, bro. You feel me? Like, I'm done. And my boy Tim actually loaned me $200 because I had literally like $7 in my account, and he loaned me $200. I was like, bro, we've been here with you from jump. We not letting you quit like that.
That's amazing.
Like, this is to be able to get through to your next check, and we just got to keep going. And then maybe a week and a half later, I met Musa, and everything took off. Yeah.
Damn. So at that point, when you say you want to quit music, like what was the plan for you at that point?
For me, well, I was already working. I actually had a good job. Like, I was making very good money at my job. I had a job where this could have been my career.
What were you doing?
I was a IT recruiter at a tech company.
Okay,
so
that's popping.
I was making good money. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I'm like, bro, I'm over here. Like, I'm making like
stressing out,
making like 70 a year, and I'm not living like I'm making 70. You feel me? Like, I ain't got my license not like legal, and I'm driving. I'm doing all this stuff because I'm pouring everything in the music. And it's just I keep taking L's. I keep crashing. You know what I mean? I keep paying people, them dipping off with my money. I took a lot of L's. You know what I mean? And them L's hurt a lot when it's out of your own pocket. A lot of people got situations where you take an L and
that's other people's money.
Else, but it's like when you put $4,000 of your own money up, and then something happens,
that shit hurt,
bro. You be like,
you be in the car at 2 in the morning. Look like him right there.
Looking like Cuban Good Jr. Swinging in the air. You be hot. You feel me?
Hold your chin up.
So I took a lot of L's, you feel me? And so I was just like, I was ready to be over it. I was just like, bro, because I love music. I was like, I'm not going to stop making music. I'm always make music for myself, and because it's therapeutical for me. I talk about a lot of stuff that I actually go through. So I was like, I'm always make music for me. But as far as all this videos,
professional shit,
I might not never have another video again. I'm not paying for that.
Wow.
Like, I'm going to just make music for me, feel me? And get it mixed and whatnot, and then just put it out. Whoever rock with it, whoever don't. I'm about to pour myself into this job and try to move up and whatnot in the company. And then my boy gave me $200 and was like, bro, we done all put in music to the hat. Like, we need you to keep going. Like, if you quit on you quitting on all of us. And all the money and effort we done put in, like, it goes to waste. And that's what kept me going through that.
It's funny that you say that too, because like one of the reasons I stopped drinking like 2 years ago, right?
Gotcha.
And one of the main reasons was that was like the main underlying reason why I was like, damn, it's too many other people that's relying on. If I fuck up, I was thinking at it from a selfish perspective. I was like, man, if I fuck up, I can quit it or whatever happens. It's on me. I can figure it out. But I was like, damn, it's interns and people that fuck with homegrown that rely on their life depends on it. So I definitely
100%.
relate to that for sure.
Yeah,
now you said you signed the paperwork, or you got paperwork in your hand. You're signed at this point now.
Yeah.
A year goes by. How much time was it before the actual announcement, and how did you handle that time?
Yeah, it was just about under a year, which is funny because for me, like, I only been rapping for 4 years. So for me, it's like if you sit me on the bench for a year, I'm looking at it as this is 25, but like, I've been doing everything for 3 years.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me to sit still bro, I almost got dropped like once or twice just by me being too ambitious and me just doing shit. Like, and used to being a underground artist that can push the buttons myself and not used to sitting still. And they had to Top had to call me and be like, because Moose talked to me, a couple other people talked to me. Top had to pick up the phone and be like, look,
this was gonna happen.
This is what's gonna happen. We're not talking. This is what you gonna sit here and you're gonna trust this process. And I thank God that He gave me that chance for that. You know what I mean? Because it's like I just kept doing too much. But I sat for about 11 months. But I did have the Black Panther announcement in between it because I signed September 12th. Yeah. And then the Black Panther joint dropped in February. So that definitely helped as far as mental wise,
right? You like, at least I got something.
Like, bro, at least I got something. Yeah. I'm used to putting out stuff, and everybody and everybody else in the city going crazy, and I'm like, I'm just sitting here. You feel me? Like, I can't say shit. Man, I can't do nothing. You feel me? And so. It was probably about 11 months, and then but I made the soul, the record that they announced me off of, the soul. I made that like a month after, like right after I got signed. I made that record, and so we was just sitting on that for a minute, and then they ended up making an announcement in August.
So you signed the paperwork. What's the first thing you do after you signed the TDE? After you signed the ink dries, what's the first thing you do right after that? The first thing
I did after, because I signed it with all my people at the house. Like I took it, I was at the lawyer's office. He wanted me to sign there. I was like, nah, can I take it home to my people? Which he thought I was flossing. He thought I was about to try to come back and be a head. But I just really wanted the people
that got me there.
It's a moment. But I walked out in the room and I called my mom because she didn't know. Yeah. And my mom don't really know much about music and whatnot. So I called her and I was like, hey, mama, I'm just letting you know, like, I just signed a deal to Top Dawg Entertainment. I know you don't know who it is or whatever, but like my music career and my life is about to really change, and I love you and thank you for always supporting me. And she was like, oh, I'm so happy for you, baby. Just make sure, work out with your work schedule and you'll be good.
Just make sure you at work Monday. Just make sure you iron your clothes tomorrow.
You feel me? You at work on Monday, and it's all as long as you doing that.
That's cool.
You just moved out. Like, I need you to make sure that you don't come back.
On this.
And I just started laughing. I was just like, I'm gonna make sure I go to work, mama.
You hit it with that moose LOL.
I didn't even tell her at first. I was just like, I'm gonna make sure I go to work, mama. Yeah. But how my mom is, anything that got to do with her kids, she's super obsessive about it. So literally like 10 hours later, she called me back like, oh, this is a thing. Because she went and Googled Top Dawg Entertainment. And you got me like, so she's like,
you with that Kendrick Lamar, huh?
Exactly
you with that Kendrick Lamar.
That's literally what she said. She was like, you with the man, the little short guy, Kendrick Lamar.
You with the humble dude.
This is like, exactly. So then she knew, you feel me? But my pops was already like a little hip, so he was telling people I was signed 2 weeks before. I was like, bro, you're like, if you ever meet my pops, and I'm sure y'all will one day. If you ever meet my pops, you're gonna understand the story way more. But my pops is like the most like he's like the most hood ignorant dude. Like he always talking, everybody love him, and he's just the person that's every time you hear a story it's gonna get bigger. You feel me? So it went from he's signed to TDE to he rapping with Kendrick Lamar.
Right. Man, they gonna drop a song tomorrow.
Dropping an album together. Like, you feel me? Like,
oh, you know that name.
When I ain't even met Dawg, I'm like, I already got an album on the way. Like, to
man,
some of his co-workers.
Him and J. Cole ain't doing nothing. It's Reason and Kendrick. They dropping a new project. I know you heard about it.
Yeah. So my pops is funny. So he was already hip. So when I told him, he was just proud. You know what I mean? It was a big moment for him. And then, same thing with all of my family. So it's been a blessing since then.
When you went to the crib and y'all was like, and you had everybody there to sign the contract with you, right?
And nobody knew too, because we didn't tell nobody. Like, because I had some moments where I done told people stuff was about to happen.
Oh shit!
And it ain't happening. So that's the worst thing. So literally, the only people that knew we was even talking to TDE was me, LT, P, and Pat. Y'all know Pat, White Pat, Managed Jack.
Yeah.
Pat, that's my guy, and he's like on our like team. Like, so Pat knew because he came to the office with me, and then P and LT, they all knew. But we told everybody, don't tell nobody. So when I gather people around, people they're like, oh, he got a kid on the way. Like, what are we like? You feel me? Like, what's going on or whatever. So it was like a moment, the same like, and the video will be out because we're working on like a little documentary and stuff. So you'll see like the genuine surprise and everybody felt like they couldn't believe it.
Oh, you filmed it and everything?
Yeah, we filmed it and everything because we knew it was gonna be a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, and nobody, like my DJ, he didn't know. And now you know, so that's big for him. You know what I mean? So it was just a moment for everybody. You feel me? And nobody knew, so it was dope.
That's dope. How did you feel though?
Honestly, bro, I really felt like something's gonna happen, so let me hurry up and get this kind of like. Part of me didn't even want to have that moment because I was just anxiety. I was like, bro, I don't want to take this paper home and something happened. You feel me? And then
they blow out the window.
You feel me?
I be thinking about that.
Freeway.
Tom! I fucked up. I need another copy.
Yeah, like real, bro. I swear to God, that's really what I was thinking about, bro. Like, and I swear, I remember I even asked the lawyer to give me 2 copies, and I swear, I'm not making this shit up, bro. I gave LT one, and then I put one like in like this little my little work briefcase that I had a lock on. I put one in there, and I gave LT one. I was like, bro, we gonna get home tonight. We gonna make it home.
Hey, just in case.
We gonna make it home.
Just in case.
I signed both of them just to make sure, you feel me? And I gave one back to LT, but the other one back and locked it up, and then started drinking and celebrating after that. And then right when I got to work the next day, I told my boss, I was like, yo, I gotta make a run like right now. Like it's personal, but I have to make a run right. And we went to the office and dropped it off to the lawyers. So, and once I gave it to him, I was like, hey, I'm signed now. So they stuck with me. Feel me? They stuck with me. I'm here.
So what was the conversation with your job like? Was that a hard conversation? Was that easy to be like, okay?
It's crazy because like everybody always dreams to have that moment with their job where they're like, fuck y'all niggas.
Fuck you.
Exactly.
You're cool. You're cool. I'm out.
But I actually liked my job.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? And I liked the people that I worked with. They used to come to shows and shit. Like, so for my job, it was actually like a big like celebration. Like we went and like had a half day that day.
Oh, that's dope,
went
man.
To happy
So
hour.
they all
Like the
supported.
budget was like unlimited. Like we was lit. You feel me? So for my job, it was actually like a dope moment. You feel me? And then a bunch of them actually came out to show like some of the shows on tour and stuff like that. So it was easy for my job.
That's cool.
And they gave me 2 weeks paid, and I ain't even had to show up out there. They told me I was like, I'll do my last week. They was like, bro, go home. And they paid me for that.
So you put in your 2 weeks.
Put in my 2 weeks.
And
I
you
was
got
gonna
to keep
commit.
the bread?
And they let me keep my bread.
Oh, they trying to get to the show. That's what it was.
Rock with us, bro. They
trying to get the verse.
So my son actually raps. So they coming back, double backing on that.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that the project that you was talking about how obviously we know it was a re-release. So for you putting that out there, we were having this conversation a couple weeks back on the podcast of how DJ Head, he's erased everything about himself socially from 2013.
Good luck finding tweets before. I don't exist on Twitter before 2014.
So I guess my thing is it's like
that's funny.
I see the side.
I know how this is.
I feel you.
I understand that, but there's a part of me that's always like, damn, you don't want to see people see the growth. The growth.
Yeah.
So how?
Yeah.
He said no, not at all.
I came out like this. Like,
I came out the womb. Rapping from the uterus.
I don't know. No. On some real shit, I was talking to who was I talking to? I think it was Schultz or Charlemagne. Somebody, I was talking to one of them. Yeah. It's like they was like, man, get your house in order. You know what I'm saying? They coming for everybody.
Yeah, no, that's real.
So I'm like, all right, so now that I got this platform and I'm doing all this type of shit, I'm like, all right, look, I can't fuck that. I went and found a little app, and that motherfucker, you could type a keyword in. And you could type a word into the app, and it'll go find all your tweets that got that word and erase them.
Hey, text me that app, bro.
Text me
that app.
I was like, I was doing a filter. I was running filters like that, like type it in, maggot, and
I got
all these words, and I was problem like typing in all these words. I'm like, man, you know what? Here go this delete all.
Oh yeah, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'm just about to jump off the cliff with this.
I started thinking in my mind, I was like, when did I get my shit together? Yeah, about 2015. 2014, that sounds like right 2014, delete, gone.
But okay, I
out of here.
I get that for personal shit. I understand that, but in terms of music, like that's kind of how, especially how it is being underground, right? You got people that are they ride and champion for you. They love that first song that you record. They have those moments. So for you to take that away from them, how was that for you? Were you okay with saying, okay, yeah, we'll repackage it and to do away with this the other project, or were you kind of like resistant towards it?
Yeah, well, social media wise, that was exactly the reason why I didn't delete a lot of stuff off my. So like, you can even go back to when I graduated from college. Like, I think that's dope. I think that's where it starts. And only because I did want people to see. Now everything before I graduated, I think is gone. But when I graduated and I decided I want to start music, everything from that point is still there. And as far as music wise, it's funny because when I dropped There You Have It, when we dropped There You Have It, me and my brother and my cousin, we put together like 10 bands to pay this PR person to like do the whole PR thing, whatever PR means. I still don't know what PR means. But whatever PR means, we paid her to do that. And she just skated with our bread. But I'm going to tell you why it was a blessing in disguise. I was hot at the time. So 10 bands just gone.
I'd still be mad.
Yeah, I'm still mad about it. But the reason it was a blessing is because when Top fell in love with There You Have It, he was like, yo, have the blogs posted about this? I was like, nah, it's actually funny. Like, our PR person skated with them. He was like, man, we're going to redrop this. Because if it was blasted to the big sites,
it would have been kind of,
then he was like, I don't want to put something out that's already been blasted. So that ended up being a blessing for that.
Ended up working out for you.
Exactly. And so I wanted to kind of go back in and change verses, add new songs. But Top was just like, he was like, I've never had an artist that I can give them the ground zero, like from day zero of who they are. He was like, this is a rare opportunity for that. I don't want them to hear you with no growth. Like I want them to get you with your YouTube beats, the same thing that you put together with your homies on it. We're not gonna go put SZA on this or Dot on it. We're gonna literally, like, even the Soul record, I wanted that to be the outro. And all he did do was he took off 4 records, and then I begged him to keep Thirst on, and he kept Thirst on.
Thirst is dope.
Yeah, I begged him to keep Thirst on. I had to literally, I called him 2 days before we turned it in and was like, bro, can you just do this one for me? You feel me? And keep Thirst on.
Like, I waited. Come on, man. Give me something.
Man, like, just give me this record. You feel me? So he kept Thirst on. I was trying to get the Soul to be the outro. He didn't let the Soul be the outro because he was just like, the Soul sounds like growth. He was like, I want everything to sound like exactly what it is. You feel me? And so I trusted him on that, and I'm glad because it actually, ended up working out. So it's dope.
Speaking of which, There You Have It, right? And I think I hit you about this. My favorite song is called Color Dreams.
Man, we just shot a video for that.
For real?
We just shot a video for that. Yeah.
Where in the fuck did the inspiration come from Color Dreams?
Yeah, so Color Dreams, if you notice, it's called Color Dreams / Killers. Yeah. And so Cole had a record in 2000, I want to say like 12, when I was in Iowa hooping, and he had a record called Killers, and it was talking about, the verse started off and he was like, mama, I just killed a man. Body still trembling, can you feel my hands? And he told the story about this dude pretty much telling his mom, like, I'm about to go to jail, but, like, don't stress about it, but you know what I mean? Like, I apologize for letting you down and blah, blah, blah. But then on the second verse, Cole just started talking about some other shit. And I was just like, bro, where? Like,
what the fuck happened?
Yeah, like, what happened? You
set up,
like,
you set me up.
He just started rapping. Like, I was just like, bro, like, what's up? Like, you feel me? So,
you're a weirdo.
Like, it's like watching a movie, and it's like, it's supposed to be a sequel, and then the directors just break up, and they never make a sequel. And you just like, bro, what's going on? You feel me? So when I started writing, and I was just writing, I was like, I guess I just gotta chill. I don't know why those words came, for 20 years. And right when I wrote that line, I stopped, and I was just listening to Killers earlier. I was like, bro, I'm about to just finish the rest of the story. You feel me? And then, so I finished it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I'm gonna finish it. And I'm thankful I did, because not only is that one of the main songs that a lot of people talk about because it's so visual and whatnot, it's also been something that I've been able to take, and we got some more spinoffs and stuff that's not out yet, but it's something that I can, kind of like Meek Mill's, I want to say Tony story or whatever he does, but kind of the same thing. It's like parts to
build
it.
Build a series to it.
Exactly. So I'm able to build on that, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's one of my favorite joints.
That's one of my favorite songs. The story is crazy as fuck. And then what really caught my attention is the part it so vividly paints the picture of like what we live.
Yeah, that's real.
About like, oh, I didn't want to have to do this. This is what happened. Fuck. Like, and then you dealing with the real time reality of the thoughts that you're having, not just the situation, but also how you feel about it.
Exactly. And for me, it was so close to home because I had homies that was always like making I call them 10-second decisions that turn into 10 years. You feel me? And I actually had a homie that his name Mel, shout out to Mel, but around the time that came out, like, Mel had just beat a murder case, and now Mel's doing amazing. Now he just graduated from Hawaii, and he's working to go to the NFL, but he got caught up in some stuff. He didn't do it, but just wrong place, wrong time, 15-second decision, about to damn near cost Mel his life. And I was cool with Mel's mom, Sandra, that's my auntie Sandra, and so I'm talking to Sandra like a lot at the time, like talking to her on the phone, meeting up with her in person, and I'm seeing how it affects her. And so when I started to write it, I'm like, I actually have an inside kind of view on to how this would feel. You know what I mean? And so just talking to his friends and stuff like that, a lot of that inspiration came from that because I'm like, you know, God willing, he don't go down, but if Mel go down, this is the only way I can picture that he would be feeling, you know what I mean, inside that moment. Wow. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Damn. And then also I want to ask you about how's tour been?
Tour's been redemption. Dope, but it's been, I'll say this, like it's on the videos and the
because it's your first time out.
Exactly. It's way more work than they make it seem like, bro. Like, man, it's way more work and just like not eating consistently. Just like it's on your body, like just not eating the right way. I like went both. Like the first like 2 weeks, I lost 15 pounds and I gained like 30. It was like weird, bro. Like, and it's just like not consistent sleep. And then you drinking, and then you get on the bus, and it's a bunch of females on the bus, so you don't want to go to sleep because you're like, they gonna steal my shit. So I'm thugging, like I'm staying up like that. You're not gonna go on my buck. You feel me? So, I'm like, I'm thugging.
I just bought them, Jay.
Yeah, you feel me, bro? Like, so it's a lot more work. But the best part about tour, though, coming from underground standpoint, is to see fans that are in cities that you've never been to care so much. Yeah. Oh, that shit is just like the most inspiring thing in the world. Just to see people, you in cities that you ain't like you would never meet this person before. And I got people coming up to me asking me how my cousin is based off of Better Days. Like, how your cousin doing? Wow. And it caught me to a point off guard where I'm like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like your cousin, like Better Days. Like they got me. They probably thinking I made the shit up because I'm not even responding to it. But it just caught me off guard so much, and I'm just like, this is crazy. You feel me? And they know everything about your life, but that's also scary because I'm like, when I wrote these records, I didn't expect them to be so worldwide, big. So it made me feel bad because I'm like, I'm putting my people's business out there worldwide, and it's like I didn't know it was going to be that. You know what I mean? So no, it's an adjustment for everybody.
One thing that I took away that I do like the fact that going back to the growth, I like the fact that Top didn't do anything with those records, and you're able to see yourself unfiltered for the world. So basically, he just took what you already had and presented to a higher platform versus saying, okay, we're gonna take everything away so nobody knows what's going on. So I do like that. Yeah. And one thing that you do, I've noticed on your social media as far as how you connect with your fans. It was one story, I can't think of it right now, but it was about, I don't know if you was on tour. Well, while you were on tour, somebody had tweeted you and told you something, and you reconnected with this fan. I forgot what it was. Yeah, can you explain that?
He had this fan he had hit me up and pretty much said that he was gonna be waiting outside the concert since like 10 or something like that in the morning. We hadn't even got to the city yet. And so I was like, I want to make sure that I connect with this dude or whatever, when he get there or whatever. But when I walked out, I was in Denver. This is actually in Denver. I walked out with my brother, and as soon as I walked out, this dude just broke down and started crying. Yeah. He just broke down as soon as he saw me. So I saw a couple weird things on tour, like people hugging me and trembling and stuff, but I had never seen this. Like, he's crying to a point to where he can't even get words out. Like, he can't even talk. And so first I'm just like, oh, this is dope. Then I'm like, this is scary. You know what I mean? Right. And so he pretty much told me that he was stationed, forgot where he was stationed, but he was pretty much living with these two dudes, and one was from Watts, one was from Carson. And for the last 9 months, that had been his life. And the dude from Watts put him on J-Rock because he was from Chicago. He didn't know who J-Rock was. And then the dude, when Redemption dropped, and then the dude from Carson had put him on me once the Black Panther stuff dropped. So all they had been listening to for the last like 8 months is Reason and Rock, and just been talking about. So when they saw we announced on tour,
you got a tour coming to the city. They're like, oh shit,
they're like, oh bro, we going to tour, blah blah blah. And all they did was argue. You know how niggas be. We just argue about music, who better, and this. That's all they've been doing. You feel me? But then 2 weeks before the tour, before There You Have It dropped officially, both of them had passed away. Wow. They passed away. And so he was literally going to that show. He had just flew in from Jamaica. He was literally going to that show just as his last, like, I'm keeping my word to you. I'm coming to the show. You feel me? Ooh. And so it just literally like just gave me chills. I wanted to do more, but I didn't know what I could really do for him. You feel me? So we was going to get something to eat. Took him with me. Got him something to eat. Rock ended up pulling up, so he got to meet Rock as well. Ended up getting there early, so getting like the front spot. You know what I mean? Rocked with us or whatever. And then I reconnected with him online and got his number and whatnot. And so we just keep in touch now. You feel me? But it was just like the biggest. It was probably the craziest moment that happened as far as connection with a fan. And it was just a situation where I just felt like, damn, I wish I could do more. But to him, I did the world of what I could have possibly did. You know what I'm saying?
You went above and beyond. Because some people are just, oh, man, good looking out, man. That's a crazy story, man. But for you to go out of your way and really connect with them on a different level, I think that shows, that shows a testament of who you are as a person. Like, you can't really get that character from a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that you do that, I think that's dope. Now, the fans out there don't think he's gonna do that for every single person, but at the same time, it's just it's an amazing, like, because a lot of times people will say, well, who is Reason? And I will point to something like that. Yo, that's Reason. Like the bars and shit like that, that's all gravy. Like, we know you can rap and all that, but for you to take time out of your schedule and do that for somebody that you didn't even know is amazing, man. I just gotta commend you on that. For real.
Love. I appreciate that.
That's crazy, dog. Like, do you think that if that would have happened and it was like in a different scenario, it would probably be a lot more weird? Like, say you didn't have any knowledge prior to.
Gotcha.
You see what you're saying? Like, you didn't have no context,
I see what you're saying.
and you just walked out the venue and somebody standing there saw you and just broke down. Like, I don't know, because you know where, like, how we.
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you kind of be on edge.
Yeah, like
you just don't know.
And the crazy thing is that even when he did that, I was still just a little on edge because I just didn't know. You feel me? But it wasn't until he said the dude's name that passed away, and we being from Carson, I remember seeing this dude all on my timeline, and so that was really also what kind of just really made it even hit home more, because I'm just like, you know, Rockin' them had told me stories about how people lie and stuff like that to get stuff on tour.
Of course.
They was always telling me, because the running joke on tour is that Reason got too much of a big heart, that I bring people back and to the dressing room and eat pizza with them. And all I do is feed me a story and I'm buying it. So that's the running story with everybody on tour.
That's why I'd say,
there go Reason again saving lives. Like, that's what they do.
Put your cape on.
Yeah, but him bringing up the dude's name, and I remember seeing that. Like, at that point, I was just like, bro, like whatever I could do for this dude, I'm gonna do it regardless, as long as it's within tour rules and safety, you know, regulations and whatnot. And it's just like he's sitting there by himself. He the first one. Like, doors don't open till like 7. He's sitting on the ground at like 4, just waiting for the doors to open. You know what I mean? And so, but that shit really hit like home a lot.
That's crazy. So go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you got a twin brother, right?
Yeah, I got a twin brother.
All right. So how's life changed for him?
That's fucking crazy.
How's life changed for twin brother?
I kept telling him before when we got it when we got signed, I kept telling him, bro,
when we got signed.
I say we because all of my niggas got signed with me. You feel me? So when we got signed, I kept telling him, like, bro, like, I'm sorry. I kept saying I apologize because your life is gonna change. You feel me? And I don't think he really got it. He was like, bro, I'm cool. Like, I'm lit. You feel me? I'm turned. So it wasn't until we got on tour and he came out to a show and I'm on stage performing and a nigga grabs him. He like, yo, Reason, mind you, I'm on stage right now. And my brother but he grabbed him kind of aggressively. And anybody know my brother, I'm like the chill when my brother kind of hot headed. So he grabbed him. My brother kind of like, yo, like, nigga, you know, chill. You feel me? Like, and he like, bro, I'm not Reason. I'm his twin brother. Blah blah. And he like, no, you lying. You're lying. You don't want to take a picture.
He's right there.
Yeah. So he like, he's on fucking stage. Like, bro, like, what are you talking about? You feel me? Like, so P was about to turn up on him, but then he remembered, like, these is my brother fans. I gotta chill. So then after that, he was like, bro, I'm not watching no more shows from the stands, bro. Like, I gotta be backstage. And he was like, which he liked watching it from the crowd because he liked to get that energy, but he was like, bro, like,
for safety reasons.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I might max out one of your fans. About to be
go bad. You feel me? Like, so yeah. So life
Reason attacks TDE signing. Reason attacks fan at show, and you on stage like nigga, but it wasn't me.
Crazy. And it was funny as Top just brought it up to us the other day after the LA show. He said that because when the SC, he coaches football for USC, and when the season started, he said he had a bunch of his people texting him like, yo, Reason coach football too? Like, bro, where did y'all get this nigga from? Like, this nigga do everything. Like, what? And so Top just running with it.
Do tech support.
Right.
Running with it, just telling people like, I told you, I found me one. Like, you know, champion. Like, you know, he do it. So it's funny, and it's a situation. I got stories about when Dot met P, and like, it tripped everybody out. You know what I mean? Because they hear about it, but it's different when he walk in a room. It's weird.
Now, obviously, I noticed this too about you is that you are actually a student. Not only are you a student of the game, but you are a fan of rap.
100%.
You're a fan of hip hop, because you give it up to soul, Absol, Solo, and then you also Dot and a couple other people I noticed like different references. You got Corrupt obviously on your album.
Yeah. I give a lot of love in my music to people just because
the dry, slow
I am like you said, I am genuinely a fan.
A genuine fan. I get that from you. Yeah. Who have you fanned out over
that I've met so far? First one, Cole. I met Cole in person.
Did you like?
I just like, so the first time I
where you blush.
You see, exactly. So the first time when I first met Cole, I was walking with shout out to Cal Banks, he a producer that just got signed too. I was walking with Cal backstage, and Cal knows Cole, and so we walked right by Cole. And while he knows that Cole is like my favorite at this point. My favorite all the time is Wayne, but at this point it's Cole. So while we walking, I see Cole from a distance, and Cal messing with me, so he keep tapping me.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's your man.
Go cold.
That's your boy right there.
It's cold world right now.
I just freeze. I just walk right by him. I didn't even say
What?
I didn't say nothing. Like, mind you, it was the best opportunity for me to have a
You
conversation.
trying to play it cool.
Bro, I didn't know what to say. I was like, I'm gonna say something and it's gonna be
tell him the
stupid. You feel
truth.
me? Like, but it's crazy because I played that moment in my head a bunch of times. I'm like, when I meet him, I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. Like, bro, you one of the main reasons I started rapping, bro.
Right.
And I just froze. You feel me? So I didn't say nothing. And then it wasn't until after Cole's set or whatever, because we was backstage before, and we was in his dressing room, and we was all chilling, and it took me like 15 minutes of just chilling there, not saying much. And he asked me a couple questions and shit. And then when I got comfortable, we started having a dialogue and whatnot. But at first, it was like that was probably like one of the weirdest moments I had. And then,
You think?
yeah, that was
Killers Part 2. I made Killers Part 2.
I finished your shit.
It's crazy because I wanted to say that, but I was like, damn, this ain't the right moment. It's like, like I'm like Eve back here and YB and Corday was back there. So everybody talking, I'm like, I don't want to play this sad ass song. This nigga hanging himself in front of all these. Like I was like, they gonna think I'm weird, bro. Like there's no way I can do that. So I didn't even bring up Killers at the time or whatever. So hopefully one day I can get to like play him that in person. You feel me? And then when I met Rock, that was another time actually, because Rock was always my favorite from the camp. Like I'm a huge Dot fan, but Rock was the first one that I was on and whatnot. And so when I had that studio session with Rock before I got signed, mind you, this before I got signed, so it's even weirder to me because I'm not signed yet.
Yeah.
And so when I walk in, it's like a bunch of bloods and stuff in the studio, and Rock just it threw me off because he was just so normal. That's what threw me off. He's just super normal, like you feel me, like and just almost too normal. So when I met him, I was kind of having like this weird fan moment at first until we started drinking. We started drinking together. And once that happened, like it all kind of leveled out. And it was all love and whatnot. But that was weird meeting Rock too. So, yeah.
Do you participate in the shenanigans? Because I know it'd be shenanigans.
To a certain extent.
Because it'd be jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be jokes.
That's what I'm about to say. To a certain extent, like I let the jokes fly. The one part that it was hard for me is they was picking on my DJ on tour. Like the videos is about to come out. Like I don't know if y'all saw the one video. He was like snoring. They put like honey in his mouth. Like, we got this whole prank like where we like fake fired him. Like he got in the Uber headed to the airport and everything.
Damn,
bro. When I tell you that was the hardest thing for me to like carry
keep
out,
the straight face.
I'm like, oh, like y'all gotta let. And the
He was in the Uber,
bro. He was in the Uber, and the reason why, and we done got
so
we done put a GoPro in the Uber and everything.
Are you serious?
Bro, I swear to God,
that's
bro.
so good.
Like, I don't want to tell.
I want to do that.
I don't want to tell.
we gotta wait till it come out.
We gotta do that to Lupe.
I want y'all to be able to get
we gonna definitely.
So good,
bro. Like that.
We know you've been working your ass
a
off.
GoPro in the Uber,
bro.
We gotta do that,
bro. And they went all the way through, and it's funny because knowing my DJ, and I don't want to give too many details away though. You can see the steps of him not believing it because we done pranked him so much. So when they first said it, he like, bro, they like they prank. But you can see the steps of belief. They starting to believe it, and then they end up getting him a fake ticket. Like, and then like so they going like the extra mile, bro. They went when watch when you see this. Bro, it's gonna come out.
That's so
when
good.
y'all see this, bro, like it's so. And I felt bad because like the running joke on the tour, we got running jokes on the tour. The running joke on the tour for him was you're only here because of reason. Like because I fought for him to go on tour. Top wasn't about to. He was like, "Oh, we cut budget,
right.
Just get no sets." And I fought for him. I was like, "Nah, Top, I gotta have my guy on tour." So
he been with me.
It was already a running joke. Like, bro, you're only here because reason is here. You feel me? Like, so when oh my God, bro.
Steps of it.
That's so good.
Steps of belief.
I'll spend $300 on a flight just for
somebody head up, man.
Facts.
The steps of it is funny, bro. It's funny.
Yeah, so, but do you? Is that something that you? Because Chuck, let me tell you the truth.
Yeah.
What? I'm the joke motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that.
I be with the jokes.
Yeah.
That's how I'm head.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He'll make fun of me. That's what happened. So I got jokes. Chuck had to adapt.
Yeah.
To so our group chat. Our group chat goes up.
It's fire.
When I tell you our shit is fire, our shit is fire. And Chuck,
it took some
for the
time.
last week, been just but the ass end of every fucking joke. I mean, we been killing. We on his kid. He just had how old is your baby?
Yeah, 4 months.
4 months. We on the baby the day after Nick come to the house. Like, I don't say you brought nigga, so what? You got a little baby?
Think you somebody
funny,
now. I'm
bro.
like,
You know what I'm saying? So, was it an adjustment period for
It
you?
was like-
You don't take me as a jokester.
No, I'm definitely. And it's funny because that's the biggest misconception about me. I feel like people, because of my music and how people think that I take myself too seriously, and I'm really not. So I definitely like let jokes fly. But I'll say I did get my first little taste of it when it was in the group chat. Bro, the group chats, bro. This is group chats, bro.
Yeah, man.
And it was this lady that was like kind of like rubbing on me during the meet and greet, taking a picture. You feel me? But we still trying to take the picture.
Right.
But if you see this pic, bro, they was flaming me for this pic for like a day and a half. Like I'm like, bro, like we're past it,
Like
bro.
it's over.
Like,
Yeah,
it's over. Like, it's not even funny no more. You feel me? Like, but they flaming me though. And then also the big TDE group chat. I haven't been the butt of the joke yet on that.
You gonna get it? It's coming,
bro. The other day, Q was the butt of the joke. And when I tell you Dot and them, bro, I didn't know these niggas was like, bro.
No.
Oh my god.
People don't understand that.
And they build up ammo. Like what they do is they literally like they be like, you might fall asleep here. They'll take a bit of. They'll never say nothing. Or you might do this. And that. Bro,
So it's not
and
immediate.
then when it's time, bro,
It's like, oh, I got this though,
bro. You just gotta duck off. You just gotta turn your phone off.
you got me.
If you try to fight back against it's just gonna get bad. Bro. You just gotta duck
you
off.
gotta just listen. Tuck.
Exactly. Tuck and take it for that
and hope
day.
the police come.
Take it for that day, bro. But yeah, they be killing people in that group chat. But I was the butt of the joke, and then I done had my days where I done been just roasting,
letting them off.
Yeah, just bro, like let the wrong picture come out.
Ain't
like,
that the best feeling too? To know you got some shit. You like,
when you know you prepared, you like, I can't wait till they drop that.
I'm on your
crazy.
head.
I'm going crazy.
What the homie said, you either the shooter or the one getting shot.
Facts.
Man, something gotta happen.
So I walk in the room getting them off. Like even your cameraman, I had 3 for him. As soon as I walked in this motherfucker, he was like, "Yeah, my name X."
I was like,
one. I got one for him right now, just in case. You know what I'm saying? Females, elderly people, don't matter. Everybody can get it.
Nah, you really gotta walk in prepared.
ready.
You gotta walk in prepared, bro. Because if you don't, and you trying to catch up,
it ain't gonna be maxed out.
It's over with, bro. Yeah, you getting stomped out.
Hey, so what are you working on another project? Because I know y'all shit is like the rotation. Well, not y'all shit, but I know Top shit is a rotation.
Yeah. No, I'm almost done with my next project because, like I said, we was already building it. It was finished like 5 times, but like the label was just so much pressure that they always challenging you to go higher, to go to higher bars. So I'm actually working on 2 projects, like an EP and then a full-length project. I don't know which direction we're gonna go yet. I know I'll be dropping in 2019, but I don't really have a view of exactly when. You feel me? But it'll either be an EP, like one of those 4 to 5 song projects that a lot of people been doing, or it'll be a full-length project. It just depends on what makes the most sense.
None of this shit change because you're gonna have them TDE stands on you in 2024. Remember that homegrown interview you did? You said you got a 4 or 5 song EP. When is it dropping?
We drop. We definitely gonna we're definitely aiming to be in 2019, just for the simple fact that we came to the gate with this project already done.
Got you.
It's we at a point to where it's like it only makes sense. You know what I mean? And Top had a long talk with Musa and Kim just about us not following that regimen no more of like Dot can do that. Dot can duck off for 3 years. You feel me? Since certain people they can duck off. But for a new artist, like I can't afford to duck off for 3 years.
It's a new day. It's a new day and age.
Exactly, it's a new day and age. You feel me? So I gotta strike while the iron hot. You feel me? So I'm definitely coming back.
Who do you listen to that's not on TDE?
That's not on TDE. I listen to Cole, of course. I just talked about that. I listen to Keon Bell. Thank you for that. That's love. I appreciate you for that. That's my guy, and not just because that's my guy. Like he's one of the dopest. He's one of the dopest artists that I personally know. You know what I mean? That I personally have a relationship with. So I listen to him constantly. I listen to Lil Uzi. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people might have misconceptions about me. I listen to Lil Uzi a lot. Like Uzi's one of my favorite artists out. I don't completely always, like love every single record.
Right, but you rock
all
with
of his projects. I feel like Lil Uzi is one of the most creative artists that's out right now.
What'd you think about Carter 5?
Carter 5, well, it's different. I'm biased because Wayne is my go.
That's what I'm saying.
So for me, Carter 5 was a classic as soon as he announced that Carter 5 was coming out.
Got you.
But I also got a love-hate relationship.
Hella biased.
Yeah, I'm super biased when it comes to Wayne. Wayne is the one. Wayne is the one artist that I'm like. It's like
unrational.
Yeah, exactly.
It's irrational.
But I can step out and have a rational conversation. But then at the end of the rational conversation,
I'm back in it. Yeah.
But it's Wayne, so it's fire. You feel me? So that's Wayne. But I got a hate-love relationship with it because he dropped on the same day as me, so I'm still salty about that. I'm still a little salty about that. But I thought Carter 5 was dope for like a mixtape. The one thing that I did wish we got more of was just the content because I feel like Wayne has gone through a lot.
Right. And I want to see that story.
Exactly.
I wanted to hear more about how you feel. Like I felt like a lot of stuff, like people thought you lost it. Like talk to me about that. What happened with this baby thing? Talk to me about that. Like I wanted to hear a lot of those things. All of that. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to hear more of that. But overall though, like I actually thoroughly enjoyed the album for it to be, just because it's like, bro, Wayne is kind of like Kobe to me. Like, it's different when he missing. Like, I told somebody when he headlined, I forgot what festival it was that he headlined right after he dropped. Forgot what it's called, but when I saw the video of him performing, I was just like, bro, hip hop just better when Wayne is in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just better to see Wayne making videos or putting out music videos or headlining tours or headlining. It's just better to me.
Definitely see him in that space.
Even
for
if
sure.
Kobe only averaging 19, I just want to see Kobe in the game. You feel me?
Exactly.
That's kind of how I feel about Wayne. You feel me? So yeah.
I feel. I said it a couple times actually on this show, on this radio station. I feel like Wayne and T-Pain are both owed one more run.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Because I feel like the game kind of like just chewed them up and spit them out.
Bro, I swear on everything. Like,
now
crazy.
I have a different perspective.
Okay.
As far as T-Pain is concerned and Wayne is concerned, I feel like they didn't necessarily help their narrative though either, because Wayne is so like far down into the what he does and with his lifestyle, his drugs, and I feel like he never adapted or evolved to now.
Gotcha.
He
was ahead of his time. Wayne was ahead of his time.
He was
in flooding the streets. Right. He was
exactly.
like it would be Wayne. And Wayne would be on 7 songs on just features.
Bro,
that's where Drake got that shit from.
No, 1,000%. I tell everybody, Drake and Nicki wouldn't be who they are
without Wayne.
Because, not just without Wayne putting them in a position, but showing them how to do this. You feel me? Like, and just showing them how to do that. So no, 100%.
Then also too. Okay, so who do you like the most on the label? As far as music.
As far as music, it's gonna sound cliche, but probably Dot, just because I like how much Dot pushes the envelope as far as like his tones, and like Dot ain't like scared. He ain't scared to try nothing. Like, they'll put the pussy in. Like he'll do all that. Like, Dot do whatever. You know what I mean? Like, he'll do the whole everything. So I like that he pushes the envelope so much on that. But as my like, I'll give like a unpopular opinion, because I know a lot of people probably won't feel this way, bro, but Sir is crazy, bro. Sir is
Inglewood.
Bro, Sir is crazy, bro. Like, Sir, and just having studio sessions with him and whatnot, like, you know what I mean? But it changes a lot, though, because it's like, then I'm on tour with Rock, and he showed me a bunch of records that didn't make the album. And I'm just
you get a different perspective.
I would have fought for that
bro,
one.
I'm like, it was like 8 of them. I'm like, bro, how did you not?
Yeah, he played me a couple that I wish was on there.
I'm like, bro, how did you not put this on the album? So it's tough, but probably like just like if I had to only listen to one of them, it'd probably be Dot. It'd probably be Dot.
All right.
Damn, dude. All right, so we always ask this thing. You kind of already alluded to it, so we know the project's going to come.
Yeah.
But what's one thing we always ask before the year ends, you want to do what?
One thing that I want to do is funny. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said perform at Rolling Loud, but we got booked for that. So
congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. One thing I think I want to do, I want to drop. This is gonna be aggressive, but I want to drop 2 to 3 loose records before the end of the year is up. I want to drop, but just because I feel like I have a day one fan base that I didn't feed, because I gave them There You Have It again. So they rocking with me. You know what I mean? And they love this as a celebration. But at the same time, I wasn't able to give them nothing else. You know what I mean?
Content.
So, exactly. So I actually been talking to my management about that. Like, can we just let 2 or 3 fly, just for their sake, for the people that's been rocking with me since day one? That, you know, There You Have It dropped in 2016 or 17. I can't remember. It's a blur right now, but 2017, yeah. So it's dropped since then, and I was performing some of those records 5 months before that in 2016. So they've been hearing the same records for like 2 years now.
Right,
so
you want to give them some more.
I want to drop at least 2 to 3 more records before this year is up, just to be able to feed that. And then top of the year, I just want to continue to hit the ground running.
Hey, how are you balancing family and personal life?
I've been sucking at it, to be completely honest. My family pulled me aside and had like a little intervention. It was just like, you gotta recognize what's still important. You know what I mean? Which I do recognize it. I'm just not. I'm really big on like anything I do, and that's why I like all your stories and stuff. When you talk about how motivated and how you have to be obsessed with something, like that whole thing that you said, like somebody else, like I'm with whatever. That's how I am when I chase something. I'm 150% in. Yeah. So what I suck at is the balancing, like communication with your I offend people easily because I do stuff on accident that I wasn't even trying to offend them, and then it offends them, or I forget something. Like, that's just how I am. So people that's close to me know that you got to consistently blow my phone up, call me, whatever it is, because it's not on purpose. So I suck at it, but I've been trying to grow with it more. And I'm luckily P, my brother, he knows me better than anybody, so he'll just call me and check me on certain stuff beforehand. He'll be like, hey, yo, you know you said this, so if you don't do this, for this person. Like, they gonna feel some type of way. You feel me? So he does that for me a lot.
Good, you got that ground. Somebody or people that can keep you grounded, man.
100%.
It's an amazing journey to see, and like I said, that's one thing that a lot of people are able to see play out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
Everything that's going on, it's just dope to see what's happening, how it's all transpiring, and the elevation, the everything evolving, man. So just keep that shit going, bro.
That's love.
Are you in a relationship?
I'm not in a relationship.
No,
nah,
just out here.
I'm just
so
focused
you just
on the
out
career,
here,
bro. Yeah, just focus on the career.
Take this with you.
Take that.
Take that with you.
It's just gonna hold on to that.
That's for you.
But I do. Before we get out, I do want to say I appreciate y'all though. Like, I have a lot of conversations with people just in the industry and just my friends and stuff like that about how a lot of people don't know how influential Carson is as far as just in the industry and not even just in music, you feel me, sports and everything. And so I feel like it's dope that we really have people that's from the city, you know what I mean? That like, I actually told you this at the LA block party, but back then I was just starting off, so he probably thought it was weird. He probably like, who is this nigga that's just
I remember that.
coming out here spilling his feelings about Carson? I'm just spilling my feelings about.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was at the LA block party. I came up and I started talking. And I felt weird after that because I was like, that was not the time to talk to him.
And that's when you start learning, like, you know what, it's just time to do shit.
Timing thing a little bit better.
I remember that. I remember what the fuck you said, but I remember it was hella passionate.
Yeah, I was passionate about Carson. I'm like,
what did you say?
I just pretty much along the lines of because like this is when you don't be letting us see this shit. Cracking. You know what I mean? And I was just like, bro, like it's dope. You feel me? And I got a couple older homies that personally know you and stuff like that. And so I just think I walked up to you and just pretty much told you like you're an inspiration even to artists. You know everything that you're doing in the city and whatnot, and just how hard you go for the West Coast and Carson. Like nobody can follow either one of y'all without knowing y'all from Carson. Like nobody can follow either one of y'all. And that's kind of like what I try to represent myself. Even in the song Bottom, when I said Delamo, I said that was an inside joke. People don't really know, and that's why I said that's in every single song because one thing that a lot of people used to always say to me is, "Oh, that's the Delamo nigga." Every time you rap, you say Delamo. So when I ran out of something to say there, I said Delamo. You feel me? Like that's in every single song. It's so many people that want to be cool, so they just want to say they from Compton, even if they're not from there, or they from Inglewood, and they from Gardena, whatever the case may be. But people not repping the same, you know what I'm saying, stuff or whatever. So
it's interesting.
I appreciate y'all for that.
Thank you, dog. Because I ran into somebody. He said, and shout out to Jason Cash too, because I ran into him one time, and somebody else I ran into, and they were like, "Yeah, man, like it's crazy." You know, I guess they didn't believe me.
Yeah.
And they started asking me shit. Like I was like, "Oh, you know, they stayed off of Termite." I'm like, "No, I lived on Diamonddale, like on the east side, like right on the corner." I lived at 1869 East Diamonddale Drive.
Somebody gonna be mad.
You know what I'm saying? Like right there on the corner, and they got somebody that moved in there and they got a garden and shit growing out that motherfucker, and they put speed bumps on my street. And the dude was just like,
was just tripping out. Yeah, exactly.
He was like, "Oh, you from Carson?" I was like, "Look, bro, like I don't try to act like I'm from somewhere I'm not. You know, that's where I spent the core of my time. He not from Delamo, but
come on, I'm from the patch, but it's all love. Still, you know,
I already knew. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but that's what I'm saying is following y'all. It's hard to not know. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that just because it's so many people, and not even from LA, that just from other places. You feel me? That it's like artists and everything that they really try to adapt this image of cool places. But what I tell people is like, bro, Compton wasn't cool until niggas made it cool.
Exactly.
You feel me? Like it wasn't like Compton. Like it wasn't like we started rapping and then Compton. They was like, that sound like a dope name.
Exactly. Let's put that on.
Yeah, you feel me? Like bro. Like people made it dope by being proud about it. You feel me? So it's like, you know, you can laugh about it, but we gonna look up 10 years from now, and after I done kick the door in, and there's a couple other dudes from DA and Carson. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna end up being a cool thing, and then you're gonna have people lying saying that they from Carson.
Exactly. So I can't wait to that day. I can't wait to that day.
Then we're gonna be fact checking.
Right. Like, where was you? Where the hell was you? Back with the shit.
Where was you at?
Yeah, exactly.
Where was your antennas?
Nah, but I mean, you represent the city well, and we'll keep on telling you that, and keep on pushing you, and keep on motivating. Just keep on representing the city very well, man. And we couldn't be more proud. So congratulations on everything.
I'm glad we finally able to get you up here. You're a busy man.
I know, man. I
shit didn't
change.
About that. Yeah. Shit didn't change.
Let me down.
I love it though. For the best.
I'm one of them people you told that you was gonna do something, and you let me down. I gotta call Pete.
Bro, I was like, let me make sure I get up here.
Get P on the phone.
Did this once. Let me make sure I get here, bro. I appreciate y'all having me.
Absolutely. The homegrown homie, man. Reason in the house. It is Homegrown Radio. Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head, and we about.